What is up, guys? Gib The Great here, back with another episode of Pokemon X Wi-Fi Wednesdays. And unfortunately, guys, I do have a bit of bad news. Right. Last night when I was recording this, so the Tuesday, I had a Wi-Fi battle with my friend Tom. You know, we did the single, we did the normal format, 3 vs 3 single, 6 vs 6 single, and 6 vs 6 double. But the recording I seem to have done with my camera doesn't seem to want it to convert it into the file that allows it to be edited onto Movie Maker, so I can't load it the file. So that recording right now was just a practical waste of time. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry about that. Nothing I can do about that. But I did have a battle with a I think this was a passerby, and it's this team here that I'm using. It's just basically the same time I used the team I used against Tom. It was just in a battle a battle I had before I battled Tom. So you know, it was just a bit of practicing. You know, seeing what movesets I could pull on what Pokemon I could be bringing. So yeah, this is Connor's team. He's got a Talonflame, a Wash Rotom, a Aegislash, a Amoonguss, a Garchomp, and a Tyranitar. And I have brought the Milotic, Blissey, Ninetales, Breloom, Nantrek, and the Flygon. So yeah, guys, unfortunately this is just going to be a 6 vs 6 single battle, but it is a very interesting battle in itself. So this is going to be done using the versus recorder, so some bits are going to be sped up as I'm talking through them, but you know, let's get started straight away. So while we're loading up the battle here, I must say this was a very close battle, and I thought there was a time where I could lose this, like, straight in the bag. But I send out the Milotic first, thinking that he's going to send out the Tyranitar, and indeed he does, because you know he can pop the Mega Evolution right off the bat. He gets up the Sunstream, which is quite bad for my Milotic, and there he goes. He pops out the Mega Evolution, and thinking that I was hoping that he'd swap into his Amoonguss, but he doesn't. He keeps it in, so I go for the Rain Dance, thinking that he would have took that to swap out, but he doesn't. He stays in, and he goes for the Stealth Rock. Now this is the only Stealth Rock that he uses, but it does kind of serve to mess up my team a bit. So he does withdraw out, and then he goes into his Rosh Rotom here, thinking that I might go for the Surf, and indeed I do, which was very well played to him because it won't be as effective. But yeah, I do get the Toxic off here, guys. I was expecting him to swap into his Among Us here, but then I realised he could just hit me with an electric type move like Volt Switch. So he does that, and then that allows him to get a free swap out basically, while dealing some damage to me. So he swaps out into his Among Us here. So I'm thinking, well, you know what, I can't do very much at this point, so I go into my Ninetales, and my Ninetales does have Drought. So it allows me to get the Sunny Day set up, and I do have a Heat Rock equipped, so that's an 8-turn drought right there. But the Stealth Rock does hit me quite a bit, it's like a quarter of my health, and the Amoonguss does use the Spawn me, putting me to sleep. Now he swaps back out into his Tyranitar here, and I'm thinking, okay, because previous battles I did before, he gets a Sandstream, which messes up my drought, and then previous battles I did before, I used Spore, and it's like instantly a 1-turn wake up. But this one took 2 turns to wake up. Just my luck, isn't it? But he goes to the Rock Slide. This is going to take my Ninetales out, unfortunately. But you know what? It's no biggie, because you know it's 6 vs 5, so you know anything. Still a lot can happen yet. So I go out into my Breloom, knowing that I can probably do something with my Seed Bomb Sky Uppercut combination. So he does withdraw, as he does see his Breloom a threat, but he goes out into his Talonflame. So I knew that he was likely to swap out, so I Spore the Talonflame myself. And then while the Talonflame's asleep, I do set up a couple of Sword Dances. But he is trying to get his Talonflame to wake up because he is faster, because like Talonflame's the fastest generation bird, I think. Is it? I think so. But yeah, while he's still asleep, I get my first set of Sword Dances set up. This sets me up for the Breloom sweep. I won't tell you like how many Pokemon I kill with the Breloom, but it is close. So while the Sandstorm still does some damage to me, he withdraws out, leaving the Talonflame to be asleep. He goes out into his Garchomp here, and then I go for the Sky Uppercut. Now, fortunately for me, I do get a critical hit, which I must admit, if I didn't get, I don't think I would have knocked this Garchomp out, which would have been a lot of problem for me. So the Garchomp is down, it's now 5 versus 5. The Sandstorm is subsided, that's done and over with, and then it goes back into his Amoonguss. Now, why, I don't know why I went for the Sky Uppercut. I know I should have set up a Sword Dance, but he does go for that does do some decent damage, so he does go for the Giga Drain. And seeing the amount of damage that does, I think I did 29 hit points of damage, so I thought, you know what, I can survive another turn. So he has leftovers, gives him a chance to heal again. So next turn I do go for the Sword Dance here, as you can see. And then I think what he does is he goes for the Giga Drain again. No, he goes for the Hidden Power. But this is super effective on me, it takes me down to about 10 hit points. So yeah, I was very lucky to survive that hit. With this next hit, guys, bear in mind I have 2 Sword Dances set up, so that's plus 4 attack. I do hit with a Sky Uppercut because it's got base 5 more power than Seed Bomb. Either way, still that Seed Bomb was going to be 4 times less effective. Sorry. So we got these. So the Amoonguss stays 5-4. He goes into his Aegis Slash. I know that when someone goes for the Aegis Slash, they go for the King Shield, but I Spore him. Honestly, thought King Shield could reflect the Spore. I guess that's just Protect. But yeah, the Aegis Slash is Fast Asleep. This allows me to set up more Sword Dances if I have to, but I do go for the Seed Bomb, thinking that I could kill it. So I do have 2 Sword Dances set up, but I pop the Air Balloon. He withdraws out. So this allows me to get a 3rd Sword Dance set up. There we go. Yeah, I knew I got a 3rd Sword Dance set up there in that mist of time. So the Talonflame's still fast asleep. I go for the Sky Uppercut here. And yeah, we do knock it out, luckily. So that Talonflame was a huge threat to my team. What is 5-3 or is it 5-4? 5-3 to me. So yeah, I do get the Seed Bomb because I know Sky Uppercut would have done nothing because this is Ghost type. So he does go into the stance change. He is going to attack me with a Shadow Ball here. He is going to knock me out, but I do get 2 Pokemon knocked out with the 3 Pokemon knocked out with the Breloom. You know, I was really happy with that, guys. So I go into my Flygon here, and I instantly know that he's going to King Shield. So thinking that, I know what he's going to do. He's going to King Shield, so any physical attack I'm going to do is going to lower my attack by 2 stages. So I go for the Dig here, which is very, the ball is in my court basically, so he withdraws here, goes out into his Rosh Rotom, but this Rosh Rotom is Levitate, so Dig is not going to do a hell of a lot to it, but Toxic damage does wear it down a bit. So at this point in time, I'm like, I need to save Flygon for that Aegis Slash and maybe the Tyranitar. So I'll go into my Volt Ball here, my Manectric. I do have the Mega Stone of this Manectric as it is the only Mega Pokemon I have in my party. He misses a Hydro Pump, which was fortunate for me. That Toxic's going to wear him down a lot more. So he goes out, he swaps the Rotom into his Tyranitar, which was expected. I pop the Mega Evolution, predicting this, and then I use Roar on him. So here we go, we're going to go with the Mega Evolution here. And at this point I was like, okay, he's got to send out his Tyranitar here, so I could either T-Wave it or Roar. I do go for the Roar after I get this Intimidate off. So here we go, we're going to go into the Roar, and I think it sends out his Rotom. If I'm not mistaken, no, it sends out his Aegis Slash, that's right. So he's thinking that, you know, he could get a free turn in here. I go for the Flamethrower, but he swaps out, and I'm like, crap, he's going to go back out into his Tyranitar. So yeah, he does do that, and that Flamethrower is not going to do a lot of damage. I do hope to get the burn, but it's not going to do a hell of a lot of damage either way. So yeah, I swap out into my Milotic, into my Blissey, sorry, thinking that whatever Tyranitar can throw in, he's got a Blissey can survive. But then he's got an Earthquake here, so Blissey's going to die because of that weak defense. So yeah, that was just a free turn basically. So I do go out into my Milotic here. The Stealth Rock's going to take me down 20 hit points, take me down to 44. but he does swap out here. He goes back out into the Ross Rosen here. So I go for the serve, try and wear him down a bit. So I do that. I get hit by the sandstorm, but so does he, and then he also has a toxic damage, which wears him down a lot more than I thought it would do, to be honest. So a simple Dragon Claw from my Flygon could take it out. So I do go out into my Volt Ball here, thinking that, you know what, whatever he's going to do, we can't harm. He's bound to go for an electric type move. But I do get the Intimidate off, so he's probably going to go for the Low Switch. Yes, he does. So he's going to hit me. Probably going to go out into his... Well, he can only go into his Tyranitar Aegis Slash. He goes out into his Tyranitar, which was expected. But I do get... This is the turn where the Sandstorm subsides. I do get the T-Wave off, because you know what, I realise that if I do get the T-Wave off, my Flygon is faster. But my... at this point in time, my Manectric is dead. So, you know what, I realised that the Thunder Wave could come in very handy, either with the paralysis or the slow down speed. So I do go out into my Flygon here, thinking that he could swap out, and indeed he does. He realises that the Flygon is a threat. So what he does is he goes out into his Rotom. I'm thinking he could stay in. No, he doesn't. He goes. I should have predicted that better. But I will be faster than this Rotom, so I do go for the Dragon Claw. Because what I have on my Flygon is Dragon Claw, Dig, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. So I do get the kill on the Rotom here. Then what I think he's going to do is he's going to go into his Aegis Slash here. And he forgets that I have Dig. So because what he does here is he goes for the King Shield. I know he's going to do that. So he forgets that I have Dig. So after this turn he tries and goes for the King Shields again. But it does fail on him. Meaning that I can get a nice easy kill with the Dig. And then all he's got left is his Tyranitar, while I have my Flygon and my Lotic left. So here we go, his final Pokemon is his Tyranitar here with the paralysis, meaning that it will be swallowed, but he does get that Sandstream up, even though that's going to do nothing to my Flygon, as it is part of Ground type. I do have Soft Sand equipped to this Flygon as well, so Ground type will do a lot more damage. I go for the Earthquake, does at least half damage to his Tyranitar. He goes for the Crunch. Luckily, I do survive that hit, but that Dark typing is really going to help out that Crunch. But I do survive with 17 hit points and get the kill on that Tyranitar. So very well done to you, Connor. You did battle well. I must applaud you there. But yeah, Connor, that was a really good battle. I'm really glad you could battle me like that. And like I say, guys, that was a friend or acquaintance, because you know, yeah. So I really hope you did enjoy the battle, guys. I am sorry about the clip, Tom, and you know, I'll try and get you in next week or something. But yeah, guys, hope you guys did enjoy the battle. Sorry the episode is as short today, as there was only one battle. But you know, yeah, I shall see you next week. You guys have been amazing. I've been Gib The Great. This is me signing off.